Good evening, everyone. Your Excellency, Mr. President, Mr. Speaker, Ms. Vice President, all protocol observed. My name is Karen Atim Oulanyah. I am the daughter of the late Jacob Lokore Oulanyah, and I would firstly like to thank Mr. Odrick for coming up with this initiative to shed light on the life that my father lived and the values that he carried. I thank you so much. Many of us knew my father as just the speaker that carried these values that you see behind me. One key one that I don't see up there is unity. He was a man that always chased unity, strived for unity in Uganda. He had a quote that said, "The rivers and mountains that separate us are not deeper than the blood that connects us." We as young leaders, as aspiring leaders, need to understand that we all have one common goal. We all have one interest, and that's for us to strive and prosper. I thank you, Mr. President, for leading this country so diligently and blessing my family with everything you've done for us, as well as the government, the Speaker, Mr. Masolo, Ms. Masolo, all of you. Thank you so much for everything you've done for me and my family. It does not go unappreciated. I'll leave some time for my brother to speak, but to the leaders that have come here today, I just hope that you carry the values that my father did. You know, humility is a key one that we've heard echoed all throughout today, because that's what all leaders need to possess. You need to ground yourself in the values that you hold close to your heart and take them with you no matter how high you go. And I thank you to all the current leaders that are leading with humility and dignity and carrying Uganda as it should. It means very much to us young people.
It is an honor for me to address you all on this occasion of the Mentorship Awards, which also doubles as the inaugural Jacob Oulanyah Memorial Lecture. He was, no doubt, a mentor to many, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to reflect on his legacy today in line with the theme, Modeling the Right Behavior for the Youth of Africa in the 21st Century. Your Excellency, this event has come at a time when you have just appointed several youthful leaders to your cabinet. Mr. President, permit me to thank you in a very special way, not only for opening your door and making this event possible this year, but also for taking deliberate steps in ensuring that the special interest groups, especially the youth, are involved in leadership at a national level. Permit me also to thank you for standing with the family of the late Jacob Oulanyah, both while he was still alive and when he passed on. Our father's legacy is one of integrity, of reconciliation, of institutionalism, of Ubuntu, and of family. On integrity, we're reminded of Proverbs chapter 20, verse 7, that says, "The righteous man walks in integrity and lives life in accord with his beliefs. How blessed are his children after him." Following his demise on the 20th of March 2022, his family has continued to receive awards, posthumous awards from different institutions, namely the Rotary International, Global Impact Leadership Alliance, Global Peace Foundation, Zoe Theological College, and a Friendship Award from the President of the Republic of Cuba, amongst others, in recognition of his contribution to humanity. As the MP for Moro County, his name has indeed opened many doors for my people. As an NRM MP, he stood for the principles and manifesto of the NRM, but his specific emphasis was on 7 areas. He focused on economic empowerment through his Dano Padano initiatives, through engaging the business community and the women and youth groups. He also focused on environmental protection. He planted so many trees. I'm humbled to report that just last week, the Uganda Bikers Association carried on that legacy of planting trees. They visited Omoro and planted trees in his former school. He also stood for education, Your Excellency. We know that the uneducated youth is a danger to society. So we're very grateful that he stood firmly on the foundation of education. But Your Excellency has left several children struggling to finish education. Yes, we have the scholarship, we have the Jacob Oulanyah Education Fund, but it's currently underfunded. It is therefore a request that you open up the issue of the state of scholarships so that these children can have the hope to continue their education. He also focused on the issue of health, the issue of nodding syndrome, health awareness for the girl and the health of the girl child, and the issue of upgrading different health centers in Omoro. Your Excellency also focused on infrastructure. We are very glad that at the moment, Moroto Road, the one that runs from Ngulu to Opet to Rashko, is undergoing design and the feasibility study is ongoing. It is therefore, we're very optimistic that that place will be tarmacked by 2025, as you have mentioned in several speeches. He was also passionate about agriculture. Through the Ministry of Agriculture, we have managed to secure 10 working tractors, 2 tractors, then maize and soya seeds. We are grateful and we continue to hope for more. He was also passionate about sports and the issue of wealth creation, Your Excellency. His embodiment of the Ubuntu principle and strong belief in the potential goodness of humanity has helped me appreciate your message on the shallowness of sectarian and denominational ideologies, that we should be our brothers and sisters. I'm reminded of a story, just as Charlene was sharing today. There's a time when he was, I think, in Israel, and he gave a scenario that imagine Muhammad walked into this gathering here. What would he say? He would say, Salam alaikum. He also said, what if Jesus Christ were to walk into this room, into this gathering right now? He would say, peace be upon you. So in essence, we are our own brothers keepers. Religion, parties, races should not separate us because we believe that the blood that runs through us was thicker than the differences in those colors. The amendment of the Parliament Administration Act was a masterstroke that ensured that the family of the late Speaker was not left destitute. I want to thank Your Excellency for signing that act. The Speaker has also continued to sponsor Atim's education and has committed to do so post-secondary. I want to thank her for that spirit. Your Excellency, we know that through sports, we ensure that our youth have the primary elements of leadership, of teamwork, and discipline. Allow me to thank the Minister of Sports and First Lady in absentia. I am privileged to serve as the Vice President of Uganda Rugby Union. Here with me is the CEO of Uganda Rugby Union, Isaac Lutwam. The first request, Your Excellency, is that I have a written memorandum from Omoro District, here represented by the LC5 Chairman, Douglas Peter Okello, we call him Okao. We have the District Speaker, the District Council Speaker, Ruganya Bongowat, Right Honorable. We also have the RDC, Unyuk, Andrew. We have your NRM District Chairman for Moro, is Kidega. We also have the leader of all the LC3s in Omoro District. He was also the chairman of the Jacob Oulanyah Memorial Cup of this edition. I want to thank you for coming. Your Excellency, I seek your permission to lay this because I can't read it now. It's bulky for your further consideration, Your Excellency. The second request, Your Excellency, is that your friend and father to a late Speaker traveled 2 days ago to come and see you in addition to this event. It is my request that you grant audience, if possible, to Ladit Okorinath and Adio. With those remarks, allow me to thank you all for coming and thank you for honoring this, about 5 minutes only. But in it was tackling the issue of friendships. For the youth, 30 years from now, who will speak about you and what will they say? So this is a time for us to actually build our own legacies from what we have learned. I am humbled because my grandfather is 95 years old. Atim has just made 18 years old. My daughter made 5 years last week. So in this 1 month, we have a gap of about 90 years between the people. But each of them has to catch up with the other. So you look at your daughter who is 5 years, and the great-grandfather is here alive at 95 years old, and the gap is 90 years. What can you learn in 90 years? Do you have to learn all that, or you can learn from those who are already there? I want to thank you very much for coming. God bless you all.
Good evening, everyone. Your Excellency the President, Your Excellency the Vice President of Uganda, Speaker of Ethiopia, all protocol observed. My name is Harold Atim Oulanyah. I am the son to the late Speaker Jacob Oulanyah, and I follow Andrew. I am 10 years younger than him. So, I think I would like to emphasize on the mentorship part by telling you a story of how I interacted with my father in that regard. So it will take me back to my first year in university. I was in the UK studying economics, and I had hit a rough patch around my third quarter. I was having serious difficulties, and I had stayed up for about 22 hours trying to solve some issues. So it was around 10 p.m. my time there, so it was around midnight here. I had decided to try calling my father to ask for some guidance, knowing it was midnight and he was chairing parliament the next day. So I rang, there was no answer, so I thought he might be sleeping. 2 seconds later, he started calling me back. I answered, I said, sorry, I think you are sleeping, but we can discuss this another time. He said, no, you're my child, and whatever you want to discuss, I have time for it. So I explained to him that I was having issues with studies, and since I studied economics and his first degree was agricultural economics, he opportunity through education. No one is stupid. They just lack the opportunities. They're not given the chances. He wanted to give every person possible a chance to show that with proper education, anyone can be Speaker of Parliament, anyone can be the Prime Minister, anyone can be the President of Uganda. They just need to be given a chance. And education is a proper way to show that chance. I'd like to thank you all for giving us this opportunity to remember my father and all the values he had kept. Mr. President, thank you very much for allowing us to come to State House to have this event here in commemoration of him. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Jacob Oulanyah has not died. He lives with us still. And we will show Uganda exactly what he wanted Uganda to look like. We'll show the whole world what Uganda can be. Thank you very much.
His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, the Vice President of the Republic of Uganda, all the ministers available, members of Parliament, religious leaders, all protocol observed. Good evening to you all. I totally have nothing to say, but I'm really grateful for this very occasion.